Hello, hello. Welcome to piano. We have a really fun Patreon exclusive lesson today, and I can't wait to get started on it. We are learning This Is Halloween from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Such an iconic song, and I found the perfect arrangement for us today that is accessible to a late beginner or early intermediate learner. So this is gonna be great. Before we get started today though, if you could like and comment for me on this video, let me know if you like it. If there's any suggestions for me that you'd like to leave, go ahead and leave that there as well, okay? Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is super easy, you know this now. Just hit the red button, that way you can get reminded of all of those special lessons coming up for you on my channel, okay? Next, if you have not joined our Discord server, I highly recommend that as well. If you need extra help on your piano songs and things are just not quite working out the way you want them, hop on Discord and ask those questions, okay? For these specific Patreon-only lessons, hop on the Patrons Only channel and ask away. Post a little video of yourself playing a tricky section and I'll be able to help you, okay? And then finally, a big, giant thank you. You patrons are the reason why I can keep doing this every single week. Your financial support every single month brings these lessons online, helps me pay for my software and my equipment, and bring you these really fun lessons every single time. So without that, I would be nowhere. So thank you so much for making that commitment to me. Let's get started. All right, so I have printed out my music. It's right here. I like to tape it in a file folder, right? So me and my organization brain, I like to write the title right there, and I can keep it filed away in all of my music. So if that's helpful for you, you go ahead and do the same thing, okay? Now this song in particular is so important that we are very aware of our accidentals. Now you know accidentals as sharps, flats, and natural signs, okay? Because this song has so many of them, we have to pay close attention, okay? Make sure you've got that pencil handy so we can write down some note names if we need that help, okay? Now, looking at this beginning of the song here, I see we're in 4/4 time. That's great because we know all about 4/4 time. 4 beats a measure and the quarter note getting the beat, okay? Now, I don't see any sharps or flats in the key signature, so automatically that's getting me to think it's either C major or A minor. But it's really difficult for me to say that because it has so many accidentals in the song. It's almost like as if there's no clearly defined key that this is in. So we'll just leave it at that. We're gonna take all of those sharps and flats at face value and pay very close attention to them, okay? All right. Okay, well, let's dive right in, all right? We're gonna start with the first page, which is the first 5 lines, right hand only, okay? I'll switch to piano view so we can dive in and get those notes and accidentals just right, okay? Here we go. All right. Now looking here at piano view, I see my very first note here is a middle C. So my right hand is going to start with a finger 1 on middle C, okay? I have half note patterns here, so we're gonna do that. Let me count off, and I will go through very slowly this very first line with all of our accidentals. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. C, hold, C, hold. Now a C minor with a C, E flat, G. Again, good. Now measure 3 has a C, D, F. Good. Now stretch your pinky up to an A flat. Very good. Now we go down to a B and a G. 2, 3, 4. Back to that C and A flat. Good. Then we have a D, F, G. Very nice. Good for line 1. Let's try that again. 1, 2, ready, play. C, hold. C, hold. C minor, hold. C minor, hold. C, D, F, good. C and A flat, down to B and G. 2, 3, and 4. C and A flat, good. D, F, G, very good. All right, now continuing on here, we're going to notice that some of the rhythms may include some new notes, okay? We're very fully aware of eighth notes, having that one bar going across the top, okay? But now we actually have some new notes here called 16th notes. So if you take an eighth note and you split that one in half, that creates two 16th notes. You know how we did with the quarter note and we chopped it in half and it made two eighth notes? If you take one eighth note and you chop that one in half, it makes two 16th notes, okay? This is where we get that rhythmic difference with the lyrics, right? Boys and girls of every age, wouldn't you like to see something strange, right? That extra syllable you're getting with those lyrics, that's the 16ths, okay? Now let's dive into the notes. Here we go, line 2. Right hand. Now we are beginning here with an E flat on the bottom and a G on the top. It's a third. I'm actually going to do, let's see here. Yeah, that'll work. So let's do a finger 2 on our E flat and a finger 4 on our G, okay? We begin with 4 eighth notes and then a 16th pattern, okay? Let's see how that goes. 1, 2, ready, play. E flat and G, A flat F, D and F, D and F with the 16th, G, A flat, E flat and G. Okay, let me slow that down so we can get that a little bit more clearly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. F, 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 G, A flat, third with E flat and G. Good. Let's try line 2 once more, nice and slowly. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, very good, okay? Now, moving on, it gets a little more complicated here. We see the same chord at the beginning at line 3 that we had at the beginning of line 2. All right, where it says come with us, it's the same chord. Let's see how that sounds. 1, 2, ready, play. Now it gets a little different. G, A flat, D and B flat, A flat, G, D and F, D and F, G, A flat, G and E flat, D, G. Okay, so that's line 3. Let's do that again. 1, 2, ready, play. G, A flat, B flat and D, A flat, G, F and D, rest. D, F, G, A flat, E flat, D, G. There it is, okay? There's that opening theme. You hear that. This our town of Halloween, right? You hear that in there. So, like I said, the accidentals, the sharps and flats, are what make this a really complicated song, okay? I have written in all of my flats and sharps that are in the same measure as another one with a sharpened flat. So that way I don't forget that it repeats, right? If you have an E flat in a measure, all the other E's in that same measure are going to be flat as well. The only exception to that is if there's a natural sign, and that means it's switching back to a regular E, right? So you'll see in my music that I have all of my little flats written in here, okay? Let's see if we can move on to measure 10, which is at the beginning of line 4. And we are now in a G position with our thumb on G and our finger 3 on a B flat. Okay, let's try this. All right, so starting at line 4, measure 10. Now we're up here. We've shifted our hand from this D position up here to G, and we have a finger 3 and a 1 on our G and B flat. Okay, let me count off. We'll very carefully and slowly go through this so we can get all of our flats. 1, 2, ready, play. G and B flat, B flat, A, G, G and B flat, B flat, A, G. Now we switch down to a 6th, finger 1 thumb on a D flat and pinky on a B flat. F, F, E flat, D flat, C, G, F and A flat. Yeah, very good. Okay, let's try that line again. Here we go. Measure 10. We're in our G position now. 1, 2, ready, play. Down a 6 to D flat and B flat. Very good. All right. You got all those flats written in. I had to do a bunch here. And I even did an A natural at that point. Let me see if I can show that to you. That line in particular can be kind of tricky. All right, you see it right there? This one. Good. All right. Pause that if you need to right there so you can write in those accidentals. Now moving on to the final line of page 1. We are now on a B natural, okay? We just got done playing F and A flat. Now at measure 12, we're back here with a finger 3 on our regular B. It goes like this. 1, 2, ready, play. B, 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 A sharp, G sharp. B, 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 A sharp, G sharp. Right? So I need to write those in. I kind of blanked out there. I was like, what's going on here? This doesn't make sense. It's because I forgot to write those in. Now you see there's a bunch of 16ths on that line. So let's do that rhythm again. 1, 2, ready, play. B, 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 A sharp, G, B, 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 A sharp, G. Very good. All right. So with that line there, that completes our first page. Very good. All right. So switching back over here, I'm stopping a lot because I'm doing the math in my head to see what that actually is. 1, 2, 3, bum, 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 bum. Okay, so I was actually doing the rhythm incorrectly there. I thought it made sense to me, but it didn't quite make sense. It's because that whole line there is all measure 12. So that's why it was kind of confusing to me. Because if I work all this math out, I see my 4 quarter notes in the left hand, but then the 8th notes and the 16ths all had to add up to 4 beats. So that's why it looked kind of funny to me. Okay, with all that, let's see if we can go back to the beginning now. And I'm going to play all of the right hand all the way for page 1. Okay, just so you can hear what it sounds like. Then we'll switch to the left hand. Okay. 1, 2, ready, play. 4. And there's page 1, okay? Now let's switch to the left hand, okay? The left hand you'll find is just a very nice, either eighth notes at the beginning or nice steady quarter notes throughout. So the left hand's very important because it's the foundation of this song, okay? Let's try it. From the beginning, left hand. And we'll play actually all the way through the first page for the left hand. So listen carefully to those note names with the accidentals, okay? Write them in if you need to. Here we go. All right, so starting at the beginning, we have C position. All right, 1, 2, ready, go. C, C, C again, up to E, F, C, C, line 3, C, down to B flat, back to C, down to G, G up to D, G up to D, B flat, then to C, down to F. Now G sharp, D sharp, G sharp, D sharp. And there's the first page, okay? So, like I said, the left hand itself, with its single notes, makes it much more easier to, not much more easier, listen to my grammar. It's much easier to remember, okay? Because there's not so much complicated chords or notes happening there, okay? Let's do the left hand, page 1 again, so you can be more comfortable with it, okay? And I'm actually not gonna play the first line because there's a bunch of almost the same notes. We have a C, an E, and an F in line 1, okay? So go ahead and write those in. So let's start at measure 6, which is line 2. All right. So line 2, here we go, starting at measure 6. Our pinky's still sitting on that C in the bass clef. All right. Write it in if you need to. 1, 2, ready, play. C, 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 down to B flat, B flat, up to C, down to G, G up to D, G up to D, B flat, then C down to F, G sharp, D sharp, G sharp, D sharp. And there's page 1 again for the left hand. Very good, all right? Like I said, this is a tricky song. It's not going to be something that just happens overnight. You may have to break it down into sections, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just focus with it. It can even just be line by line, okay? As you put hands together. Let me play page 1, hands together, and then we'll move to page 2. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. There's the first page. Sounds pretty good when it's at the right tempo, right? Slowly, you will get there putting your hands together, okay? Now let's look at page 2 because there's some other crazy accidentals with those sharps and flats happening on this page. Grab your pencil. So we're going to start with the right hand, okay? Right hand, top of page 2, measure 13. It starts with that trick of treat, or trick or treat. Trick or treat till the neighbor's gonna die of fright. It's our town, everybody scream in this town of Halloween. Really tricky, okay? So let's start right there, all right? I'll switch back to piano view and let's get that right hand started, okay? Now with our B, I'm actually going to have my pinky there now. On the measure before that, we had our finger 3, but we're going to shift down to our pinky now because we have a lot of notes that are down below. Okay, so let's start right there at measure 13. 1, 2, ready, play. B, G, G, F sharp, E, C sharp, C sharp, E and G sharp. That's a hard measure. B, G, G, F sharp, E, C sharp, C sharp, E, G sharp. All right, let me do that one again because that was really tricky. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, measure 13. I'm actually it's kind of funny that it's measure 13 is the tricky one because like the whole idea with like superstition with the number 13 and stuff, it's kind of funny. All right. So trick or treat till the neighbor's gonna die of fright. That's a tricky measure, okay? Now moving on, measure 14. It starts with an F sharp. So then it's probably going to be a finger 4 on that F sharp. So let's try that. Okay, 1, 2, ready, play. F sharp, D and F sharp. Now we have a B flat and a G. Good. F sharp, B flat and G again with an F sharp, right? It's our town. Everybody scream. Yeah. So with those F sharps, it makes all the difference. I also drew in those B flats, okay? Let's play all of that line because it's so tricky, okay? 1, 2, ready, play. Very nice. Okay. Now moving on here, the second line of page 2, starting at measure 15. We're beginning with a low A on that on those ledger lines below the treble staff. We have A, D, and F, down to G sharp, A, B, C sharp. Very good. Now we have a fourth, C sharp and F sharp. F sharp, F sharp. Yeah, notice I'm using finger 1 and 3 on that fourth. I like using that because they're my strong fingers, okay? Now, let's try the second line of page 2 again. Right hand only. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. A, D, and F. A, G sharp. A, B, C sharp. Good. Very good. Now moving on to the third line, we have F sharp, which we just played before, and an A. Okay? F sharp and A. Now this is an interesting interval. It's also a fourth, but we have a D sharp and a G sharp. So where it says eyes glowing red, that's a D sharp and a G sharp. All right, remember that G sharp carries through the whole measure. I'm drawing in some sharps here. Now if we continue to measure 18, we're back at the original fourth we had before, which is why I had a 1 and a 3 there. C sharp and F sharp. Very good. All right, moving on. The next line we have here is measure 19. It's the same third that we had at measure 17, F sharp and A. And then that second fourth we had was D sharp and G sharp. There it is, okay? Now those are really interesting because there's so many 16ths in there, okay? Remember, 16th notes are just like splitting an eighth note in half, okay? So if you have 2 eighth notes, then it turns into 4 16ths, all right? Okay, moving on to measure 20, where it says, this is Halloween. We just got done playing this fourth. What I'm gonna do is shift my hand down to finger 1 on C, 3 on E flat. It sounds like this. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Right, so a C and E flat, and then E flat, D, C. Very good. Now, as we scooch up, at 21, the final line, we are coming up here and doing a pinky finger 5 on B. So put a 5 right there. B, A sharp, G sharp. And we do this pattern twice. B, A sharp, G sharp, B, A sharp, G sharp. Then from there, your G sharp is actually going to turn into an A flat. It's the same note. All right, so our finger 3 is already there. A flat, G, F, A flat, G, F. Okay, so that's that finger 3. It's funny. They call those enharmonics. Enharmonics. That's when you see something written, say in this case we have a G sharp, but the very next note says A flat. We know that G sharp and A flat are the exact same black key on the keyboard. It's the one smack in the middle, okay? So B, A sharp, G sharp, B, A sharp, G sharp, then it turns to A flat. A flat, G, F, A flat, G, F. And then our final chord, there is A flat on the bottom for your thumb and pinky F up high. Okay, let's switch to piano view so you can see that. Okay, so I'm starting there at the last line. Let's play that finger 5 on B. Halloween, A flat. Halloween. Then thumb on A flat and pinky on high F. And that's the final chord, okay? Now, it's tricky, I'm not gonna lie. Let's do the left hand of page 2, okay? Since it's single notes, it's not as hard as that right hand, okay? So let me go through that slowly. And they're all quarter notes too, so that's helpful. All right, let's give it a try. You can do this. It's not an easy song, but it's well worth it because the satisfaction that you're gonna get playing something tricky like this is going to be wonderful. Okay, here we go. So our left hand just finished playing a D sharp at the bottom of the first page, right? But let's put that finger one thumb on E now, okay? And we'll start there. I'll be saying the note names so you can write them down, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. E, B, C sharp, C sharp, B, G, B, G, D, D, E, F sharp, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, C sharp, up to G sharp, D sharp, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, C sharp. Measure 19, F sharp, C sharp, now to G sharp, D sharp. Now we're back to C, down to G, C, down to G, G sharp, G sharp, F, F, now an F octave. Okay? Yes. So, like I said, all of those accidentals really matter here, okay? F octave. There's our G sharps. If you find it very helpful to write those notes in this tricky song, you're absolutely welcome to do that, okay? But there's actually a lot of patterns in there in the left hand, okay? There's a lot of fifths, open fifths patterns. F sharp to C sharp. And then it goes up to a G sharp, D sharp. Okay? So that kind of goes back and forth across this second page here. So if you pay close attention to where those notes are on the staff, you will recognize where those happen, okay? Let's play through the left hand on the second page one more time, and then we're going to try this hands together, okay? If you're not ready for hands together, that's fine, no problem. I will play through it so you know what it sounds like, okay? All right. All right, starting with that left hand, finger 1 on E, on the top of page 2, this is measure 13. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. E, B, C sharp, C sharp, B, G, B, G, D, D, up to E, down to F sharp, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, C sharp, line 3, F sharp, C sharp, up to G sharp, D sharp, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, C sharp, up to G sharp, D sharp, C down to G, C down to G, G sharp, G sharp, F, F, F octave. And there's the end, okay? Very nice. Okay. It's a tricky song, but it's fun, okay? I'm gonna play through the second page for you, hands together now so you can hear what that sounds like, okay? All right, we can do this. All right, starting at the top of page 2, we're gonna listen carefully from measure 13 to the end. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. It's definitely one of those songs that sticks with you. Now you understand why at the beginning of learning this piece, I said there's really no clearly defined key because it's like exploring so many different keys with all of these accidentals. So you can see where it can be complicated to try and figure that out. Now, I'm sure our composer had something in mind, but it's a little bit beyond what I can figure out. And there's probably someone who can figure that out for us, okay? Now, for This Is Halloween, to top it all off, I will play the whole song for you, okay? This lesson was definitely a lot longer than one of the other lessons that we've done in the past, but it really did require this much extra work because of the complicated nature of the accidentals, okay? So sit back, take your pencil, follow through the music in front of you, and see how this sounds all together, okay? All right, let's have some fun. This is Halloween. All right, here we go. There you go. Yes, see, I even need a little bit more practice on it too. Some of those accidentals just don't come very naturally to me. So it's going to take that amount of extra work to really pay close attention, okay? But I promise you it's fun. I can mess up all over the place and I'm still having a good time because I'm in my head singing the song. This is Halloween, this is Halloween. It's just so fun. So I hope you enjoyed that lesson. I know it's a complicated one, but it's definitely something that you can work towards, okay? Don't be shy. If you need help, hop on Discord, okay? Send me a message. It's totally fine. That's what I'm here for. That's what I enjoy doing most, is helping us figure out those little problems at the piano, okay? So have a good time watching and learning this lesson and this really cool song. And I hope you have a great time doing it, okay? Watch those sharps and flats. Watch that tempo. Keep it steady, even if it's slow. And you can definitely do it, okay? Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all very soon. And happy Halloween! Bye-bye!